welcome to Brewskies and House Keys. I'm Nicole Kostelecki.
And I'm Nick Papantanakis.
And we are here at RE/MAX Alliance in Old Town Arvada. And we're here to give you the August market update.
Dun,
So
dun, dun.
stats are in September. So anyways, how are you, Nick?
I am swell, as always. Happy to be sitting at this table with you. For those of you that do or do not listen to this every week when we put it out, this is the best part of my week.
Nick loves this.
I do.
It's his favorite.
It's beer and hanging out with people I like. So
Good beer.
those are two things I enjoy. So
yeah. Did you have a good Labor Day?
We did, yes. We hung out with the folks. My parents live close by, and we went over to their house and did a little barbecue and just had some family time. It was nice. How about you?
Same. So I went up to South Dakota, had some R&R. It was awesome. My aunt was in town. I haven't seen her in a while. So we had a great time and did some hikes, did some paddle boarding.
I'm sure golfing was.
Oh, did golf.
There
yeah.
had to be golfing. When you have a family
I
gathering,
know.
how many people are we talking?
Oh, this wasn't that many. It was my mom and my dad and my sister and one of my sisters and her husband and their baby and my aunt.
It's only like
we were
7
going to
people.
have our other aunt was going to come, my mom's other sister, but actually my cousin went into labor, so they had to be.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good
So
reason
she didn't
to
make
miss.
it. Yeah.
That's a good reason to miss.
Yeah, healthy little baby boy.
I just know that there's a lot of Kosteleckis, so
Yeah.
I'm always curious. How
You
they
never know.
It's true.
It's there's people sleeping on floors, couches, you name it.
I can see it now.
Sometimes tents, you never know. But yeah, that was a good time, and I just love it up there.
It's awesome.
I do.
I like that you get to get away, kind of reset.
And it's not that far. It's
Yeah.
like 5 hours, 5.5 hours.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed that.
Lovely.
Yeah.
We need to do a getaway of our own. I think in a couple weeks, my wife and my daughter and I are getting out for a weekend camping trip to kind of wrap up summertime. So
Good. Where are you going to go?
don't know yet.
Just up to the mountains?
Yeah,
or?
somewhere close.
Okay.
Jeannie, my wife, has been doing a lot of research, so everything's first come, first served by that time of the year because
Oh,
it's-
you have your camper, don't you? So you have
No,
to
no, it's all
oh.
tent. So
And you have to reserve that too?
you can reserve spots, but I think at that time of the year, it's all just, first come, first served. So I think during the big parts of the summer, they do it. But
Yeah.
so it should be a good time.
Gonna do some leaf looking?
We'll do some leaf looking. We'll probably try and be by a creek somewhere so we can
Look
play
at
around
that.
the water.
Yeah.
And we'll have the dog with us, so we'll probably go on a couple hikes too, and it should be a good time.
That'll be
Truly
nice.
sounds like a Subaru commercial.
And we will be taking our Subaru
Oh,
to go
gosh,
do it.
Lord.
So thanks, Subaru, for the endorsement eventually, whenever that time comes. Thank
That
you.
would be so great.
Yes, indeed. That's why we bought the Ascent, so we could go do that. Just
Yeah.
put it out there.
Well, that'll be really fun.
Yeah, looking forward to it. So
Speaking of fall and September, it is Oktoberfest season.
my favorite holiday. Is it? Am I allowed to call it my favorite holiday?
I mean, it's kind of a month-long holiday, but yes, sure.
That makes it even better.
Yeah.
I love that. It's my favorite type of beer.
Okay.
And it's also just the best time of year. I think sports-wise, it's a great time of year because
Football starting.
football's firing up. Baseball, for those of you that are baseball fans, is in the playoff run time. So, everything's exciting.
I'm going to the game tomorrow.
That's friggin' cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then on
I've
top of
only
that,
gone to one game this year,
it's,
so that'll be fun.
we love you, Rockies, no
Yes.
matter what.
Yeah.
But on
And
top
on
of that,
top of
it's a great time for, as we said, for beer. So we, I know we have featured Denver Beer Company once before on here, but Denver Beer Company does a magnificent Marzen at this time of year.
It's really good. It's a smoky Marzen. Is that what it's called? Or
Yeah,
what is it
smoked Marzen, I think is what it said on their menu. It's 5.3%, and I mean their Marzen is already really good. Really kind of I don't know, straightforward Marzen style lager, which is that Oktoberfest style beer that you get this time of year.
kind of
This one-
ambery and
Yeah,
yeah.
the malt really comes
Hazelnutty.
through. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But this one has that little pinch of that smoke on the nose right as you take a sip. And so it really kind of ups it a little bit. I don't know.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
Go great with some smoked meats.
Give me
or-
some ribs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not a kielbasa or
Let's get a bratwurst.
Yeah.
Give me a bratwurst, please. Yes.
And a
Some
pretzel.
Sauerkraut,
And
yes.
some cheese.
We will. I gotta avoid doing the really bad German accent. I'm sorry for everyone listening.
luck.
It's going to bleed in somewhere. Yeah. So we are sipping on that. Our beloved, talented, and very, very capable podcast engineer is drinking something that is near and dear to his heart. His 0% German heart.
Und Beck's.
I'm German. I'm a quarter German.
Beck's.
So
See, you've got it in there.
got it.
I've got a little in mine too. But Beck's
Beck's is from Germany.
from Germany.
Yep.
So you're the only one doing it right now, technically.
Duh.
I tasted it. It's a good Pilsner. Very good Pilsner. Very
It's
crisp.
light.
It's light. Yeah.
I like it a lot because it's the kind of beer that you can just keep drinking through the night, and you don't get filled up on it. It's not heavy at all, and for those who are not really into the IPA or a heavy hoppy kind of beer, this is like the anti-hoppy beer.
It's a way to go.
Yeah.
And that's how the Germans do it. All their beers are like that. That's
Drinkable.
why you drink them in liters and big old boots.
You know.
I do know.
So Nicole's been
To a beer garden.
in the country of Germany
Yeah.
enjoying beer.
Not for Oktoberfest,
What
though.
village? Or
I
town?
was in Garmisch-Partenkirchen and
Right.
Fusen. Close to Stuttgart and Munich.
Gotcha.
So close to there, but not actually in there. I was close to the Black Forest, which was beautiful.
Oh, I have heard of that.
Yeah. It was
That's
da.
Da.
But
It's a
yeah,
wonderful time of year
I
for
want to
beer.
go back there. That would be awesome. You said you're going to go?
Well, so when I turned 35, which was years ago, I asked my wife if for my 40th birthday, we could have a trip to Germany for like around this time. My birthday's in September. So Oktoberfest falls in this category. I would love to go do that.
That would be so cool.
And the 40th seemed like a good time. So that's a few years from now. So we are planning that trip. It's going to be fun. My daughter will be 10 by then. So.
And I've heard, so Munich is great. That's like the big tourist spot. But I have heard if you go to some of those outer towns like Stuttgart, I'd have to look up some other ones. But they have the like true Oktoberfest
And
parties.
that's what
so
we've
I
been
think
told.
I suggest that.
So, and I think my wife said that too. She
That's
said
the way
we
I
can go and obviously land, be in Munich, land in Munich, spend a day or two, but to
then you're
really
just with
get
a bunch
into
of
it,
Americans and
to really get
you
into
know,
it, she said, let's go
tourists.
out to the little smaller towns,
Right.
which is exactly the same thing. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm letting her kind of plan it out. She's been there before. I have not.
Oh.
So I am excited about this idea. It's a few years out,
Alright.
but a guy can dream. So,
Yeah.
you know.
I suppose we better jump in.
I guess it is
Yeah.
Brewskies and House Keys,
Yeah.
not just
so
Brewskies.
House Keys
So
part. And yeah, like I said, today is going to be a market update. So the August stats are in, and I have them right here for you. So for residential, just, both attached and detached, the median price was $579,900. So that was a 2.54% decrease from July's
just keeps happening.
dates. Yep.
Just keeps happening.
Yep. And then actually similar decrease for detached homes. So single family homes, the median price was $645,000.
Which is still wild.
It still is.
That's
Definitely.
wild to me. Just that's
Yeah.
the median. It just seems crazy.
But it's coming down. So that was a 0.77% decrease from July. And then for an attached home, so a condo townhouse, it was $400,000, which was a 2.2% decrease from July. So basically, we are seeing prices drop across the board, whether attached, detached, and they're similar to what we were seeing back in February of this year. So, but we're still up from last August of 2021, up 8.49%.
That's just nuts because that's kind of what I'm getting at, I guess, is that it still seems elevated for the Denver metro area. But I guess growing up here, we've seen it obviously increase over time.
Yes, yeah, year over year. I mean, it has. If you look at stats from 50 years ago, Denver
Right.
market, we always have people coming here because it's such a great place to live. So,
Yeah.
it is decreasing, but that's seasonal, and the market's starting to level off.
That's true too. You gotta actually take the seasonal piece back into account a little bit, which we weren't doing for a little while because that unsustainable, insane boom that we were having didn't really account for that a lot of times. So
Right.
I think that's a very important piece that you brought up too. Some other numbers for you. Average days in the MLS. This is an important one. Was 19 days. Now that's an increase. That's a 46% increase, because what we were seeing was, in the spring of this year, I think was the record low.
Right.
At 8 days in the spring of 2022. So a record low on record, meaning back when they started making records of this stuff. So you're saying that, 8 days on market, it was so fast. It was a week. So you would blink and things would be gone. And we talked about that.
Right. Well, and we talked about last month, if you listen to that update, that we haven't quite seen some of those houses catch up that have been sitting on the market for a while. So I think those are starting to close now. So that's why that big jump from the 46% increase. It was 11, I think, last month. So 11 to 19.
And this 19 is still quick. It's still a relatively short amount of time on the market. As I mentioned, and I hope I do it in a positive way, our seasoned veterans let us know that 19 days on the market is not a long time. We need to be mindful of what kind of market we're in still, which is still very beneficial to those that are selling. So average days in the MLS, specifically for detached, was 15 days. And that is also up. And then also attached was 20 days. And then this is another number to look at here. At the end of the month, there were 6,939 active listings at the end of August. This is actually a decrease from the number that was on the market at the end of July. However, year over year, it is a 93% increase. So we're talking, it's still catching up, basically, from what was insanely going on last year.
Well, that's good to look at, because you still have the seasonality, but then you can also look year over year that it is starting to balance. Does that make sense? Yes,
100%. And it makes it a less volatile market for those that are out there looking to buy, which is
ding, ding, ding.
A win, a huge win. So last but not least, it would not be a numbers time if we didn't talk about interest rates. As of this last Friday, I believe interest rates were coming in for a 30-year fixed loan. Conventional loan was 5.99% without buying anything down. That ebbs and flows multiple times a day, as you all know. So just some extra goodies in there for you.
Yeah.
So what does that mean for our buyers and sellers? I think Nicole's got buyers up first.
Yeah. So like you were saying, it's a great time to start looking to buy if you wanted to. And if you had been looking over the last year, even 2 years, and you decided, okay, this market's not for me, I don't want to compete like that, and, put an offer in and find out on Friday, find out by Monday. So if you decided you don't want to do that, now's a great time to jump back in. There's options for you. You can look at houses that might be fixer-uppers, and you can have a great deal on them. Or you can look at houses that are completely remodeled and ready to move in, which I've been noticing. So I have buyers that have been jumping back into the market. So it's great for them to see kind of, the competition is not quite there anymore. But it also is very important to get your pre-approval letter again. So go back to lender, make sure you know what you're pre-approved for. Because with that increased interest rate, people's buying powers have come down a little bit, but then again, so have house prices. So just to know exactly where you stand, it's important to talk to your real estate agent, important to talk to your lender.
Yeah, I think good lenders too will work from they'll work backwards from your monthly payment kind of thing. So now that rates are different from maybe they got pre-approved 6 months ago, rates are different. So It's important. I agree with you completely that they can get that new feel of what's your monthly payment going to be, and then that will help you dictate the price you can pay.
Correct. And not only that, but also talking to your agent about the different options, because there are options right now. If a house has been sitting on the market for a while, some are still going fast, so don't get us wrong. But if it has been sitting on for a while, there are sellers willing to buy down your rate and to help you out, or to do a concession and give you money towards doing some of those items that you would want to fix. Carpet, paint, anything like that. Not all of them, but that is like an option. And if that's what you're looking for and you want a bargain, you want a deal, they really are out there right now.
One of my favorite things that was said this morning we had our sales meeting this morning, and we had a rep from a title company here to talk to us. And one of the really cool things she said today was, given the way the market it's not that it's shifting, it has shifted. And she said because of that, the value has been put back into the real estate agent's profession. We are more valuable to people now because we can help with that advice on things like that. So
and on the sell side,
100%.
So
Yeah, I think for both, and it's a big deal that we can hopefully be that resource for you. If it's not us, if it's your agent, whoever it is, ask the questions because hopefully they are that resource for you.
Yeah,
that's a big deal. Speaking of sell side, okay, so let's talk about that a little bit. We did talk about this the last couple market updates, but it just keeps becoming more and more obvious that folks are still not catching up with how they're pricing homes. So if you are going to list your home and you're working with your agent, make sure you talk to them about, okay, what has the market done in the last 30 days? Because really that will give you a much better indication of what price is a little bit more accurate than looking over the last 3 months, because it was so volatile in that time frame.
Yes.
So I think it's really important to know that price is going to dictate it. And we were talking to an agent after our sales meeting that works out of one of our other offices, and she said, I comped this house. I'll just pull numbers out, so it's not anything crazy, but I comped this house at $600,000. So that's what her analysis told her that they should price it at. She's like, so I priced it at $575. So they knew they needed to price less than even what all the numbers told them.
Right.
So paying attention to that really matters.
Because it's just moving so quickly. It is. It's
moving quickly, and you're going to get...
It's stabilizing more quickly, I should say.
Yeah. And you're going to get more activity if you have that price lower. You're going to get more showings. More showings means more likelihood for an offer. So being able to push that, I think, is a big deal. And then obviously, homes, 19 days in the market is not a long time, but it's still more than it was. So as a seller and working with your agent on this is important too, knowing that your home's going to be shown more and it's over a longer period of time. How do you keep your home show ready, or how can you kind of have that go bag kind of concept ready if a showing came in for an hour from now and I'm living in my house still, like I have to be able to hop out and make sure it's show ready. So kind of having that plan in place ahead of time, super crucial. I think that's a really good kind of thing to keep in the back of your minds. Yeah,
maybe have another cleaning. If it's been on the market for a month, maybe get it professionally cleaned again.
Yep. That's really good advice.
Yeah.
And then, working with your agent to just be open-minded about and creative about the way it's being marketed. Is it just it's out there, it's posted, and you have a sign in the yard? Maybe that's not enough. Maybe there needs to be more going on. Could be, using social media. Could be how much mail and flyers are being done about the house. It just featuring your property more, getting it in front of people more. That's how you're going to get that traffic. So it's okay to ask your agent about that stuff, I think.
Oh, 100%.
I welcome those questions. And last but not least, if you're selling and looking to buy, and this is specific to the Denver metro area because we won't speak to outside of that because we don't really do much work outside of that, but it's really important to know what kind of options you have to make that happen if your home is sitting on the market.
Right.
So there's those financing options that we kind of briefly touched on, a few weeks back. And then we had that episode with Michelle from Home Mortgage Alliance where there are a lot of options that lenders can provide to basically create more buying power for you in that instance. If your home's sitting, but you still need to buy kind of thing. So definitely worth that conversation. As a lot of lenders have said to me, just pick up the phone, call me and let's talk.
Totally.
Can figure out some ideas. So
yeah, and I do want to touch briefly on different markets because we've kind of talked about the whole Denver market as a whole, but I guess different price ranges. So I looked at above $1 million, and then $750 to $1 million, $500 to $750, and then $300 to $500. And basically, this was just interesting to me because across the board, the close to list price was actually, all of them were under 100%. So meaning that across the board, the average, the list price is at $750, we're coming in at below 100%. So say at $740. So that's interesting, right?
Meaning close prices came in
below
less than what people wanted to list it for. And why I think that's important, and I love that you kind of did that analysis, and it's on all those different.
It's on all of them
ranges.
Yeah,
first-time home buyers or $1 million home buyers.
Right.
You know, I mean, to me, that's important because it just proves that point that pricing is so important.
Right. Well, yeah, that pricing is important, and then also that people are coming in with offers below list price.
Expect the negotiation if you're on the sell side, and be willing to negotiate if you're on the buyer side.
Exactly. And then just across those different markets as well, the average days on market were about the same for most of them, so about 21 days. But the one that had the lowest average days on market was the $300,000 to the $500,000 range, which was at 15 average days on market.
First-time homebuyer range.
Yeah.
For sure.
So I just thought that was interesting to kind of look at the different,
definitely,
price ranges depending on where you are. It's important to kind of know that. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
So a lot of numbers, a lot of stats, a lot of stuff, and a lot of talk about beer in Germany too. So hopefully everybody enjoyed our August market update. It's a great time of year to be doing all this stuff. Thank you again to Denver Beer Company and Unbex for the deliciousness.
It's gone.
Oh no. That's okay. We've got more. Denver Beer Company, 2 locations. We'll make sure their addresses are out there for you guys in the notes on all the episodes as well. But definitely check them out and say hello to them during this time of year to get this delicious beer.
Yeah, try the smoked Marzen. It's really good.
And this is about this, but they also have their pumpkin on right now. I think it's called Hey Pumpkin. But or Hey Pumpkin.
Oh, it is.
But try the smoked Marzen. I agree.
Hey Pumpkin Butt or Hey Pumpkin?
Maybe Hey Pumpkin Butt was just what they said at me when I was walking out there. I don't know. And then, as always, for those of you that maybe are first-time listeners or have been listening for a while now, thank you for supporting. And please, 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 we love the feedback. We love the support. So hit that subscribe button on YouTube, on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify. Like what you're seeing. Give us comments. Give us feedback. We love it. And hopefully it continues to tickle your brain in some capacity. And last but not least, Prost.
Prost.
I don't have
no.
I am so sorry.